If horse racing is your thing, then I came here to tell you that you can do it now in the blockchain while earning crypto in Pegaxy. That's right, in the Polygon network all you need to do is to buy or rent a Pega and you're ready to hit the racetracks. If you decide to buy a floor Pega and the token's price remains more or less the same as it is now, you'll have your return of investment back in 1 month. Let's get started! So in Pegaxy, when you're starting, you have two options, either buy or rent. If you're buying, the floor price stands at 900 USDT. If you're renting, you also have two options. Either you go for fixed rental or profit share. I recommend you actually go for profit share because fixed rental means you have to actually pay for that Pega. But if you go for profit share, it will be completely free. So in this example, I can either pay 100 VIS, okay, and I get this Pega for 1 day, or I can rent this Pega and 9% of the profit I make with it will be mine. After you made this decision, it's actually time to test your NFT mechanical horse in the race tracks.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Is it over? Did we get anything?
Nope.
Jesus guys, this game is so stimulating. I feel all the adrenaline and dopamine rushing through my brain. I had to be like super focused there in order to get the win, you know, and in order to get some tokens. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, this game is skill based and it's not for every gamer. You really need to get good in order to succeed in Pegaxy. Okay guys, jokes apart, right now the game is in its early stages and this is not their end goal. Every match is completely randomized, so it doesn't matter if you have like the most expensive Pega or if you have a floor Pega, they all have the same chance of winning. What the team behind Pegaxy aims for is something more like this. This 3D model is looking way better than what we just saw. And besides this, the team also mentioned that the game is going to be skill based. So I'm guessing that every Pega is going to have a set of skills that the player will be able to use during the race, influencing like this the odds of winning. So players are going to have a much more active role on every race. So guys, after reading the white paper I noticed one thing, but it's something that happens in the majority of play-to-earn games, especially in the beginning, which is the economy of Pegaxy is way too dependent on new players joining in. If there's not new players joining in every day, there's not enough demand for all the Pegas that are being dumped in the market, so the Pega price will drop and breeders won't have that much of an incentive to keep breeding because it won't be as profitable as it was before. So instead of burning that VIS in breeding, they will just dump it in the market, also dropping the VIS price. So hopefully with the introduction of skills, players will want to have more than one horse, okay? Also with the burning mechanism, that's also a nice way to incentive players to buy more than one horse once again. So hopefully after these two features are introduced, the economy won't be as dependent as it is right now on new players joining in. But that's the truth, as the game is right now, if there's no new players joining in, the economy will collapse. By the way guys, if you're taking any value out of this video, consider hitting that like button. Let's get back to the Pega. So each Pega has a gender, breed type, breed count and a bloodline. So let's take a closer look. This is the Pega I bought, is a Oz, a pacer and a male, and then he has a bunch of attributes like speed, strength, lightning, wind, water and fire. So right now these attributes are completely useless, but in the future gameplay they're going to have an impact on your odds of winning. So let's imagine your Pega actually goes to a stadium that is really windy and your Pega has a high percentage in wind, so that is going to increase his odds of winning that race, and so on. If it's like raining and your Pega has a high percentage in water, he has a higher chance to succeed succeed in that race. Okay, I think you get the idea. Now about bloodlines and breed types. Let's start with the breed types. Breed types are some sort of rarity that the Pegas have. And once again, right now they're completely useless. But the bloodlines, that's a different story, okay? Because the bloodlines are going to influence the cooldown time for a Pega to breed again. So let's imagine I'm breeding 2 Aussies. If I'm breeding 2 Aussies, I'm going to have to wait 24 hours. But if I'm breeding the least rare bloodline, I'm going to wait for 96 hours. There's a big difference there. Besides that, the Oz bloodline is more expensive than Zen. Since you have to pay, just like in X Infinity for example, in order to breed, you'll be spending exactly the same resources, but you'll get a more expensive offspring to sell. So that's why when it comes to breeding, Oz right now it's the best option. Now about the breed type. So as I've told you, the Pegas have a bloodline and a breed type. Okay, I know it's a bit confusing. So the breed types, as I mentioned, they're useless. But for example, let's imagine that you buy a Oz and then you decide to buy like legendary Oz's. If you breed them, you're going to have an offspring with the bloodline of Oz. But when it comes to the breed type, you're going to get a lower rarity. So if you breed 2 legendaries, you're going to have a rare Oz, okay? So that's the problem with breed types. Your offspring will get a lower rarity. That's why I bought a Oz and a Pacer, okay? Because Oz, this is going to remain the same for all the offspring, but this year the breed type is going to be lower and it's going to eventually be lost unless you keep buying from other breeders new horses. So this is what it looks like when you're breeding 2 NFT mechanical horses. Love is in the air. As I've mentioned, when you breed you actually have a cooldown, and that's very smart, and I believe the devs learned from X Infinity. So this mechanism is going to lower the chance of breeders flooding the market with Pegas, avoiding like this a drop in the floor price. Now let's talk about tokenomics. We have the governance token PGX, which has a total supply of 1 billion on the Polygon chain, and it has multiple use cases like breeding, purchasing of Pega on the marketplace, staking and large tournament rewards. So the last 2 are not active yet. Then we have VIS, which is mostly used for breeding, and it has an unlimited supply. So guys, let's take a look into the roadmap. We're going to have Pegaxy game on mobile. Okay, this is super important. We're going to have Pega food. We're going to have the 3D gameplay on mobile. We're going to be able to change the name of our Pegas, which will cost VIS, which is a nice strategy to control the amount of VIS in the market. Crown Pega release, ramp network integration, so you're going to be able to buy assets from the Pegaxy metaverse directly with fiat. Token swap on platform, so I'm guessing there's going to be like some sort of decentralized exchange. First stadium sale event, so you're also going to be able to buy stadiums. And how this is going to work is, if there's a race in your stadium, you're going to get a fee. So this is a very nice way of getting passive income once again out of a play-to-earn game. Pegaxy game on iOS and Android device app stores. This is going to be a huge milestone too. Loot box gacha system. No one knows what this is. There's going to be a hackathon, community treasury, and staking PGX into treasury. Okay, once again, another way of getting passive income with this game. Secondary racing mode, Pega burn system. This is super important because even with the breeding cooldowns, at some point there's going to be more Pegas being dumped on the market than players getting inside this metaverse. Okay, so this is going to be super important in order to control the Pega population. Then we're going to have the riders. So you're going to be able to buy a rider for your Pega. Community-based games, cross-chain use of Pegaxy NFTs in other games. Okay, this also looks cool. So as we saw, your Pegas are going to have gear, so you're going to have all these pieces of gear to equip on your Pega. So you can also feed him some mechanical carrots that will boost some of his stats. And this is how the stadiums are going to look like, okay? So you're actually going to be able to own one of these. I am guessing it's going to be a non-fungible token as well. And I'm also guessing it's not going to be cheap. So let's talk about money now. On average you get around $35 with the current VIS price, which means that you'll have your ROI back in 25.72 days, okay, which is amazing for an investment. Guys, no other investment gives you ROI this fast. So guys, personally I didn't like the gameplay as it is now, it's really boring, but we saw the 3D model and it's looking amazing, okay? So there's lots of potential here, the graphics look very good, and another thing is that there's not that many horse racing games in the blockchain, so that's another positive aspect for Pegaxy. There's no competition really. Then another thing is that I believe the devs really learn from other play-to-earn projects like X Infinity, for example. If you look into Pega breeding, there's a cooldown, which is a population control mechanism. Then you also have the renting system, which is way easier in Pegaxy than in other games like X Infinity, for example. I'm always comparing this game with X Infinity because X Infinity is a game everyone knows. So in X Infinity you have like a Ronin account for every scholar. So if you have 50 scholars, you have 50 Ronin accounts and 50 email addresses. Here, no, it's an upgrade, a big upgrade to that old system. So you just click on your Pega, you insert the address of your scholar, you click on rent, you set the percentage, and it's done. Everything is going to be done automatically. It's much more simple, and also there's no rooms for scams. As soon as a scholar gets some profit, that profit will be split between manager and scholar right away. So guys, personally I do believe Pegaxy has a great future ahead. It's a game I love to have pumping on the second screen all day while I do everything else on the first screen, because it's a game where you just click race and you wait. You don't really need to be paying attention to what's happening. So none of what I've said here is financial advice. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe for more play-to-earn content. Always do your research before putting your money on the line. Guys, once again, hope you enjoyed the video and I see you cryptomaniacs in the metaverse.